What is good, my Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to another edition of TNAIW Reaction right here on the TNAIW channel. My name is Geoff, and I want to thank you for pressing play, hitting like, and subscribe. Either way, building this community one fan at a time, one friend at a time. If it's here, if it's elsewhere, either way, gearing up for an awesome 2024 from Impact/TNA. Got a lot on that. If you're wondering, what's he going to talk about? Maybe this is going to be a short one, but if you're asking yourself that, you guys know you give me a sentence, I could go on for hours. So I'm going to answer your comments. We're going to have a good time. We're not going to review, obviously, the Thanksgiving episode of Impact, but we'll talk about some key points and answer all of your, I think there's 12 or 13 comments, so that'll be a good time. Just a reason to connect with you guys, shoot the shit, and keep up on the world of Impact Wrestling. So before that, I want to just give you guys an update on the shows. Obviously, Go Power Rankings is preempted until we get back to live episodes. Maybe they'll do an IPWF one. I'll have to ask them. But with that being next week, there you go. LOL TNA just hit its second part of the TNA One Night Only pay-per-view that we booked. 10 great matches, including a Call Your Shot with every entrant in it video, so check that out. It's a good time. See if you agree, see if you enjoy the card we put up there. I saw a few of you comment, so thank you. But something worth looking at, and then we got another one coming up, 5 champions in, 5 champions out. Oh, it was tough, but it's a good time, so look forward to that Tuesday. And then, of course, the LOL Hall of Flame, which we'll have near the holidays, I think. But either way, guys, let's get into the topics at hand. Let's get into your comments. Let's not waste any more time. We're going to start with EC3's comments on NWA working with possibly TNA as a June 19th, 2002 guy. The fanboy in me to see that championship in TNA again would be pretty damn cool. Now, we joke, we have the NWA thing. But what does NWA bring to the table? Now, of course, it brings EC3, who you guys know I'm a huge mark for when it comes to Impact, because this is one of our true homegrown talents. You say what you will about before or whatever, and obviously his talent is undeniable, but he had a platform, and it came in the form of, being Ethan Carter III, Dixie Carter's nephew. So we'll love to see him back as well. I know we're going to hit on Kamille. She's obviously there as well. Her coming up into free agency. Something interesting with her, I think being a free agent right when 2024 hits. We'll talk about free agents in just a second. So if it's something, though, to clean up the NWA thing, if it's something small, not like how the NWA invaded WWF, but something of that nature where we get the key people. There's enough people in the NWA that used to be in TNA to make it interesting. But if as far as a crossover, unless it's going to lead to that belt being part of it, I really don't know what NWA brings to the table. And it's the same, and that's not against NWA per se. I said the same thing about AEW or any of the GCW ones. I want Impact going into 2024 to put their best foot forward. I know we'll hit on that. And just show what they can do. Maybe not needing what other people do to uplift what they can do. And I think that will speak for itself. There's a lot more I think they need to do for that pay-per-view, but we'll hit on that. But as far as an arrangement with them, there's people I love there. And like I said, if it's a start of Kamille coming over permanently, cool. I just don't know if you want to dip your toes in that, but that's my point of view. With that being said, talking about Kamille and free agents, I know we'll hit on it, and I know we'll talk about the free agents out there, and we need one for this show for Hard to Kill. We need to boost up this roster. I do agree there with all the people leaving in the turnover. Do I think there's going to be a new crop that come in? Yes. Do I think they need to be, the Punks and Ospreays of the world to succeed? No, I don't. Would it help? Depends. Sure, yeah. Wouldn't hurt. But once again, value of what you're putting out there and what are you getting in return? And buzz is great, but I think we have good buzz now. If we put out a strong Hard to Kill, it'll speak. But we'll get to that. But as far as free agents, I like the idea of a Kamille coming over. I like the idea of a Hammerstone whose MLW's contract runs out in the end of the year. So perfect for 2024 TNA. I think those are the signings you do. You get your ducks in a row. And then when that person comes along that's been sitting in catering in this company or that company or has been put to the wayside because of one reason or another, and you can finally capitalize and get some buzz and get that Christian-like signing, that's when you do it. Do I think we need to roll out on January 13th with the expectation of, our world's going to change, ba-boom, ba-boom? I don't. I think we do a bunch of things damn well. And I think it's the time the world sees that, and I think there's a lot of people who are going to go in with an open mind for the first time in a long time. So, my point, but hey, free agents don't hurt, and I think that's the kind I'd rather go to. Would a Ziggler or someone like that, a Dick Zipper, be a great addition, veteran addition that's on the level, comes in, is already on a level? Yes. But, with everyone signing everyone, we'll see how that plays out. Now, as far as everyone signing everyone, I think one of the people that really just exudes what I want this TNA to be is a Mike Bailey. And with his contract year coming up, it's been, in my mind, he's been booked from the get as if his contract year was coming up. And he told you from the get-go, like, this is just a pit stop. So you get your bangers out of him. You don't give him really too much to bite into. I don't know, but I hope we can sign him. I hope he stays. I hope he's appreciative of us getting him over here into the States. At the same time, he's got to do him, and I don't fault him. He just doesn't owe anyone anything. He's paid us back and then some with his talent. So I hope this is one of the signings we do use our budget to increase the pay of people like Mike Bailey, get them on board, and keep building that foundation and let them grow with the company. Because once the company grows and they're, household names, then is interesting when you bring in that Christian, for instance. But hopefully Bailey is part of the future plans. Someone who's not CM Punk. Look, I'm going to be honest. This week especially, I've been contemplating a lot, and we're going to talk about that later about the direction of TNA. But when I thought this management team and CM Punk, okay, I think they have enough structure and really legit human beings behind there to balance out and have a mature locker room still after a CM Punk. I also don't think we need to crucify this dude as if he's like murdered somebody. This is, it's really, you can argue that maybe he did a favor by getting Jack Perry off TV. I don't know. But either way, I get the whatever. But he's in WWE. And like I said, yes, I think we had the structure in place, but it was making me nervous when it came to the creative of what will be TNA and CM Punk. I just, I think it could go a really weird direction compared to where I want to go or where I would prefer it to go, but we'll talk about that. But luckily, CM Punk shows up in WWE. That's where I kind of thought more this month that's where it's going to end up. Chicago, sure, of course, but the money. When there's money involved, anything can be rectified or fixed, especially when you come in with parameters in your contract and all that, and especially with Endeavor now owning WWE, it's a different ball game. There's no fucking around, and this is his last big money chance, so it just made sense. They obviously, do I think they'll get more out of him? I think they will. And I think they'll get a, not only will they get the most out of him, I think the wrestling business gets the most out of him by being there. Would it be cool if he's, was there for TNA? Sure. Do I want him to be the main dude at 40 whatever, and the I don't want to say taint because the taintedness of it. Look, those chants were big. Would they have translated over to Impact? I don't know. I would hope so. I think he is a needle mover. But once again, if you're throwing, 7 digits at somebody, as we were offering Ospreay, as we were offering Punk, you got to get someone that's going to be a cornerstone, maybe even the mouthpiece. And I'm not saying we dodged a bullet on any of them. They're both super talented. But I like us putting just betting on ourselves and adding some pieces. But once again, we'll get into that. But what you guys should take out of this, and a silver lining, for those who were against or for Punk, who were for or against Ospreay, and we'll get to some of those comments. The fact that they're focusing and saying, okay, here's Big Fish A, here's Big Fish B. Let's put a package together and make a real offer. And it's great to see that, man. Do I think we're going to go out of the black, put ourselves heavily in the red like we did with Hogan to get some names? I don't think so. I think this company is well ran. That's never been the business model. But also on the flip side, are we going to go out and just blow money like we can? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying the same thing, but you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I know there's a lot of people who think we're billionaires and we're just going to go, but that's not the way. And even if that was the way, I think they would still deal with keeping it self-sufficient, which I think they've done a great job of since they've taken over. But what do you guys think? Are you seeing the silver lining here? Are you happy that they didn't sign? We'll talk about that, I think. But let's get right into your comment one. I'm going to try to keep this within the whatever range, but we'll still have fun doing it. Hope you guys enjoy yourself. Listen to me ramble on this Sunday after Turkey Day. Let's get with our buddy Gary here. What's up, Gary? Awesome main event, Geoff. Love Trinity's tribute to RVD. Split-legged moonsault on Sonny Kiss. Yes, I enjoyed that match. I know I had my opinion on it. But Trinity brings something completely different. She's done the split-legged moonsault a couple times, maybe more than that, and impressive. And that's why I love her finishing with that full Nelson, that Bubba Bomb style finisher, is because everything she does is so impactful. Boom, boom, boom. It's fun. It's exhilarating. It's like a firework going off. And then you're going to choke. I just don't think the submission works as well as her high-impact offense to end with a high-impact move. I love it, and I'm glad you pointed that out. Impact gets 8.5 from me. That's fair for last week. And I'm looking forward to TNA coming back in 2024. I as well, my friend. Moving on, EJ Nation. This is actually from Twitter, or the X. We're going to mention it, though, because kind of our buddy here having a little bit of a whelp. Well, this was what they needed. Ospreay was what they needed to get back on the map, and, whelp, here we are. I don't think Ospreay is a household name enough to put us on the map. I think it would have pleased the 50 million on X. Once again, how many of that 50 million on X watch live on Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Access TV and have a Nielsen box? Would the other numbers go up? I don't know, man. I'm starting to see YouTube picture. I'm old. The pictures and stuff on there when you post or whatever on YouTube getting over 3,000 likes now, man. This was not happening before they said they were going to go back to TNA. So we have a little buzz on our own. Should we bank on that and that's it? No. But do we have to just say, well, Ospreay and Punk, this is the end of the world? I don't think it is, my friend. And when it comes to it, Ospreay's still going to be there. I still think AEW is. But at the end of the day, he's still only 30, I believe. He's still not going to want to be fully in the States, I imagine, especially with a kid at that point, if it's a 5-year contract being in grammar school or whatever. So these people are going to be... It's timing, guys. Timing is what matters most. And blowing the bank on someone who's going to give us a banger of a match and is just, the same level as a Josh, could have been worth it. But it depends on that number. Plus, do you really want, bruv, the whole time? I don't know. More of a wrestling guy, and I think we need a little bit of story, which doesn't mean he wouldn't be part of it. A phenomenal talent in my eyes. We'll see if you guys agree. I'm saying that because I know what's about to come. Demon Better 99, not really a fan of Ospreay, but he was the most realistic signing out there. I don't think so. That maybe Impact had a chance at, but of course AEW comes in and sign him. I think just having a good wrestling pay-per-view is not good enough when we are rebranding back to TNA. I think they need something that will get fans talking. Yes, floor for Hard to Kill needs to be Bound for Glory. That's it. The floor for Hard to Kill needs to be Bound for Glory. That's the starting point, okay? Trinity versus Jordan, Shelley versus Moose, we're starting, Okay, we'll see what else we get. Final resolutions coming up, and then we have the Mexico tapings today. We'll see what happens. But yes, I agree with you. But I think it needs to be, I know I joked last week about it only need to be this and that, but I think that's part of it. I think we need to see some kind of return, a wink to TNA without it being too nostalgia-ridden of a show, but still giving us in your face, like, this was TNA and Don West and, that voice, Barry Scott. We need all that. But I don't want it to be too nostalgia-ridden, but I do think we need someone to come back that's a wink to the past. I think we need bangers and matches up and down the card. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think the new set and the look needs to be branded and beautiful and have a wink. I would love the tunnel with brick and kind of a ECW style look. Look, I'm very happy that the venues, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, but the venues, so maybe it's Lou D doing his thing. But that's an important part, man. The aesthetic of what they're putting out there. Make it look like a video game every episode. Eventually you manifest a video game. But also because that's the world we live in. People want to see a complete package, and I think they'll deliver that. But they do need some kind of names and something, or a big storyline. I winked at that, but I suggested that Kenny King, Taylor Wilde, Mickie James could be coincidence. Very much could be, especially with the budget moving around. But all TNA names, leaving right before TNA comes back. So is there going to be a storyline with them? Probably not. But would something like that be interesting? I sure think so. I think you need to end the show with something. If it's Moose winning and then, everyone attacking Moose or whatever it may be, some kind of big moment does need to happen. But the floor, yet again, needs to be Bound for Glory. Okay. Parkside, Millard, what's up, buddy? Happy Thanksgiving to you. You as well, my friend, and your wonderful family, G. Another great reaction. So do you think that TK will let Ospreay wrestle at Hard to Kill? Good question. There's no way TNA is letting Ospreay win a match on that show. Fingers crossed. I know that he officially signs with AEW in February, but TK isn't letting Will lose a pay-per-view match in TNA right before he comes in AEW full-time. Correct. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think a relationship's that solid anyways. Doesn't mean it's bad. I just don't think we're going to, have Thanksgiving dinner at the cons. I don't think that's going to happen. Do I see Ospreay wrestling at Hard to Kill? I could see that. Do I see him losing at Hard to Kill? I do not see that. He is technically under AEW contract, or is he finishing New Japan and then is going to? I don't know the actual logistics of it. So does he have the choice? He's not going to piss off his boss right before, but is Tony Khan also going to pull the contract away from him if he goes at Hard to Kill and wins a match despite Tony not wanting to? I don't think so. So we'll see. But I think him being there would be awesome. I just don't want him picking up a victory again over a Josh or something. I was fine with it before, but I just don't want, and I said that about his promo before, and I don't know if you guys agreed. I think some of you had, but the just looking better than us or looking down at us before you leave is a no-no. You could win, don't care about that, but I don't know who you guys are bullshit. Gotta go. Keep it going. Online, man. This is actually from the live feed. I see nothing special about Will Ospreay, so there you go, guys. There's countless guys who can wrestle like that. Man, I just haven't seen a lot of them. Be real, I haven't seen a lot of them. And this is someone who was going in with for some reason, judgment, and then that's not like me. But, I just thought he was going to be a flop fest who didn't sell. I was thoroughly surprised the story they put together. The little big things he does, man. Does he have room to grow? For sure. But I think he's talented. And I think he adds a different flavor. Even if you don't like what he has to say, or if his don't do it for you, he still feels special. And I think Impact would have been the place to nurture that. So we'll see. Maybe he gets that out of the way at AEW and then comes back. We'll see. Online Man also says, I just want Austin Aries back on TV, either WWF or either WWE or TNA. AEW sucks. I'll compromise on that. Pro Wrestling, but point taken. Aries, man, yeah, I said this on, I can't remember if I said it on the Impact, or the TNA, LOL TNA Part 2, I think I did about Aries. I'm a huge Aries mark. Always been a fan of Aries. Every time I met Aries, I went into it thinking he was going to be a dick to me, because, that's the perception and whatever. The nicest dude. He was singing The Doors, or sang Jim Morrison back. It was a good time. Always nice. Kind of disappointingly nice. But I also know that isn't him all the time. I get that. Also, I was at that Bound for Glory that everyone talks about how he was unprofessional. Bro, it was a work. I think he admits that it's a work now. Go watch Scott's reaction to Moose and Cross, who didn't know it was a work. Read between the lines, okay? At the same time, what shitty timing. Because if he just, it felt like, because he exited, it felt like it was real. But I love Aries, man. And would he be someone that, when that music hits, you'd be surprised at Hard to Kill, but fits the vibe we're going for? Yeah, I think so, man. I'm all for A-Double making his way back. Shadow Lane 99, we got a big one here. Do you think a TNA rebrand in the current card is big enough draw for Vegas? Kind of mentioned that. I hope that was sufficient. When it comes to Access TV, I would prefer them to be on slightly bigger network, but it is what it is. Most wrestling fans are creatures of habit, and they're used to wrestling beyond basic cable, so then the only promotions that exist are WWE. Okay, that's fine. And that's, this goes back to my Nielsen talk. Yeah, and if you guys are interested in why ever that I don't care about the Nielsen ratings, go back to last episode and give it a listen, see if we could find common ground. Yeah, I get the perception thing, but we're just in a different world, and I don't know if us catering to Twitter, X, because people perceive, I just don't know. I get what you're saying, and would it help? Sure. But it looks like the point is growing Access TV. So I think Mariah May was a wrestler that they could have made a star in the new TNA, so her signing with AW was actually disappointing. I don't know her, to be honest, but once again, I get 86 minutes to watch wrestling a week. I noticed after how Jimmy Jacobs left Impact, the nonsensical, atrocious comedy finally stopped, and as soon as he went to AW to be in their creative, their shows have not been good at all. Is this a coincidence? I think not. Some would say that maybe just the shine of AEW is wearing off, and now you're seeing it more clearly, because I think that's consistently what people have been saying about the writing and product. I like Jimmy Jacobs. Do I like everything he did in Impact that we attribute to Jimmy? No. But do I think Jimmy was the black to the white and the yin and yang for Impact creative? I think so. And you could see where he's missed. You could see in the IPWF, which is fun and whatever, how it was kind of nurtured when Jimmy was here. And then I don't know what we'll see this week, but I guess he was here for the last one too, so maybe not. But, who knows who's responsible for what. But we could see what's on our TV right now, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I'm kind of alluded to with the CM Punk thing and creative. But if you have too much white, it gets stale. If you have too much black, maybe it's a little too edgy, right? You need to find that balance. And I don't think we have that. And I think Jimmy was part of that. But once again, Jimmy and WWE doing the list and all these popular things, maybe you just need someone above that who can kind of guide the creative. But who am I? I just write... Never mind. Thank you for your comment. It'll actually help me out later when I talk about something. Critical Sting, buddy. Critical Sting, one of the smartest people on the internet, most informative dudes. Or he's a fast Googler. I don't know Critical Sting, but I always appreciate you in the chat. Dreamer holding a title is indefensible to me, man. This whole Elder Statesman Terry Funk tribute act ain't working for me, especially since I didn't grow up seeing Terry at all. There's no good reason for him to be still champ once TNA is back. First of all, let me preface this, because I'm going to preface everything if you know me. Love Tommy Dreamer. Used to wait up after Saturday Night Live to watch Tommy on ECW, and others, of course, but on ECW after Saturday Night Live on a black and white TV. Not that old, but hey, man, we didn't have cable. So I'm an ECW dude till I die. And I always say this, so it's really cool, Critical Sting. I appreciate you listening on the regular. I always say that Tommy fulfills that Terry Funk role, that vet who comes out, that wily vet who comes out and gets that pop and holds it down as the elder statesman. You don't need to know Terry Funk's that to appreciate what Tommy's doing, if what Tommy was doing was executed like Terry Funk's. Now, granted, yes, Terry Funk won a title as well and such, but Terry Funk, look, I love Tommy. Yeah, I'm going to say that again, because I know I went online for like 1 second when I shouldn't have done, and everyone's, oh, leave Tommy alone, and he's going through. look, all love. And nothing but good energy and vibes at Tommy. But sometimes getting through what you're going through means you get into something that you love, like wrestling. Unfortunately, I just don't know if it's working for everyone right now, man. And I wanted them as well. Because in glimpses and little pieces and pops and things and CYS and all these fun things, Tommy works. New York, when he won the title, it worked. But to keep holding it and have him on the banner as one of our champions and what a belt that I think could be that next stepping stone to the world isn't the right look. And he's not there physically to still be the Tommy Dreamer of old. So you got to call a spade. And that's where it is. Terry was always Terry, even older age. Tommy is, all love. But I'm there with you. Sky Blur, what's Impact's session with Tommy? All right. I know it was in this order. I'm sorry, guys. Tommy holding the DMC is just cringe and lame. Look, as far as that real quick, I also want to say, what's the obsession? I think we got to also give him his flowers. He is a legend in the game. He is well known. He does, anytime ECW thing comes up, the numbers get pops on YouTube. He's well liked and loved. He's on Busted Open. He's got that going for him. And he's also stability. He's always going to be there. He's not going to screw you over because he's a good, legit dude. So I think that's part of it. I don't think it's just, Tommy's who we want to be world champion. That's not what it is. But at the same time, the DMC, let's keep it up there. Besides Josh, not many main event guys for Moose to beat. When it comes to AEW, people said 2019 AEW can't sign everybody. Well, they did. Talents in AEW like pay and are on TBS for some sitting and catering. Their prerogative, their life, their career. Respect to them. And we'll be waiting when they finally leave. Impact needs several signings in the tag division. They need more knockouts. We talked about that. I just don't think the talent they bring will be better than the talent that left. Let's talk about that. Let's see who left. Let's see who comes in, and let's see who's brought back, man. Because when all these dominoes are falling, and I don't want to say it like a consolation prize because I love the dude, but someone like a Sammy, man, who is just kind of, where's he going, would be something cool for him to re-debut or return at Hard to Kill. It doesn't need to be your big thing, but that could be some moments. Look for moments like that if people fit, but I think they'll fill out the roster. I think we'll see that at Hard to Kill. Online YouTube, man, again, I don't get the whole thing about TV. Nobody I know watches TV anymore. I can't imagine sitting through a live TV show, waiting through all the ads and portions I want to skip. If people want to watch TV or TNA, a TV network means absolutely nothing. So back to the Nielsen ratings. I'm with you there. Oh, no, absolutely nothing, but him again. What happened to Talking Bloody Nonsense? Oh, I love Mr. Impact Craig. Find him on Twitter as well as Peter Bloody Nixon. They had a lot going on, man, across the pond, and I'm hoping that as we continue to do this, we'll talk about that in just a moment, that they get come in some capacity, and at the very least for our 4th annual, I believe, Nonsense Awards. But I'll love to talk in Bloody Nonsense, Craig and Nixon, man. Go follow them on Twitter. Great human beings. Roger Pace, I'm excited to see TNA. I can't wait to January and see the new TNA championships too. Thank you, Roger. Yes. As a mark and for the old belts, I am excited to see what they have. I think there is very little from perfection that the old TNA World Tag Team titles, I don't know, my words are, we're at the 20-something mark. But I love the old TNA tag titles. I love the old World if it had some color and some gems. I think they could do some beautiful things. I don't mind the Art Deco look now, but they're very platey. The Knockouts title, it might be the ugliest title I've ever, and I'm talking worse than the Butterfly. I'm just not for it. It's boxy, beat up boxy. Not a fan of it. So hopefully owls are not. I hope they look beautiful. I hope we can get some gold rub on them and make them legit, man, not just plates on a thing. All right, last and not but not least, we're hitting the 30 mark, guys. Thank you for watching this. Like and subscribe. We'll see if you still want to after what I got to say after this one. I got a feeling TNA has big things planned for 2024. The rebranding name change is just the beginning. I love the optimism. Is it Codster 9? Either way, thank you. C9. You know, look, I am excited. I'm going to go into it as a fan. Guys, to be honest, I want to keep doing this, but as 2024 hits, I'm not sure where I'll be. I'll always be in contact with you. I'm always going to be appreciative. Trust me, I have a list of you guys who, like Gary B. Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison put on lipstick. Not that kind of list, but a list of you who have reached out, like I said before, through health and through drama and all this other stuff to give me encouraging words and kind stuff, that if 2024 hits, I would love to gather us on my dime. And I don't have money now, first of all. Let's make that clear. But just get together for a wrestling bet and make that happen, man. I would love that. And just to show you guys I appreciate you. And I'll make sure that happens. But as far as this, I don't know, where I'm going to be. And so with that said, I'm going to be unbiased, transparent, honest with it. I really think they're going to do well with this. But part of the CM Punk problem I had when I was thinking about the management creative here is the same my kind of concern is with the rebrand. In my eyes, the company needs to come out with a we're fucking back kind of attitude. And if the promo from Scott, hand delivered, we're fucking back, plink, was any sign, that's where my worry started coming. And then with CM Punk, it kind of started to worry even more. And I'll say this, and this is someone, and I hope you guys take this the right way because it's all love. This is someone who wanted to, when all I came home to, dead ass, was suicide notes and empty cupboards. Thought the Great White North and the Heart Dungeon looked like a home that I could only dream of. Trained to be a wrestler, and I love Canada. Since Lance Storm and Calgary, Alberta made it cool, Impact players, to Brett, to whoever else, I eat it. If you ask me, my favorite sketch show, if I could only take two to watch for the rest of my life, they'd be SCTV and In Living Color. Not in that order, but love Candy, love Levy, man, Moranis, O'Hara. I love Canada, guys. But from Moranis to Lance Storm, did any of them, they got that edge to them? Are they edgy? Are they hip? Are they in your face? Do you want to watch them do a promo for 15? I don't. And I hate to typecast because yes, there are some that break through that, and we could go back and forth. I'm just saying it for the sake of it, just based on what we're watching and the management we have. I'm fearful that we're fucking back. Plink. We're going to be very vanilla. And I don't know with Canadians at the helm and great people, funny people, quirky people, but in your face, that's just not their vibe. That's not their energy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know if at the helm, as along with the Tommies and Bullies and the 50 guys, those guys who are there still, that we could put I don't know, man. I don't know if they can nail today's hip or cool or edgy without it being, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they prove me wrong, but that has been a fear of mine, and I I hope it came out right. Once again, love to all my brethren above me. I hope you get what I'm saying, but I digress. Either way, I hope it can be what we want it to be. I hope they deliver on January 13th, 2024. I really feel like it. I'm thankful for this management team regardless, and the fact that we're even talking about how dope something in the new year is going to be. Not saying it's been a long time since then, but it's been a long time where we've had month after month after month of being excited. All right, guys. Well, I've rambled on long enough. We're talking about 35 minutes on a show that had no show. I just, shot on all of... I didn't mean shot. I meant shat. I don't know. You guys get it. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to what the new year brings. I hope you guys enjoyed what I brought today. I'm sure you guys will leave comments. Make sure you do, because next week's IPWF, and I would like to answer them. What you guys have to say. Maybe we'll talk about IPWF at least a little bit. Either way, thankful, grateful, love you guys. Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.